When I was a kid, before there were JRPGs in my life, there was anime. And while JRPGs eventually became the thing I loved more, I loved anime for similar reasons when I was most into it. Its inspirational characters, gorgeous animation, and stories I couldn't find anywhere else kept me coming back to it at different times in my life, whether it be for the childhood inspiration magical girl anime provided, or the darker side of the genre I found as an adult. As much as my relationship with anime has changed, I'm sure it led me on the path to JRPGs in different ways, from making me drawn to its visual style in games, or introducing me to story styles that are some of my favorites regardless of the medium. Anime might be a smaller part of my life now, but these are 5 of the anime series I enjoyed watching that I can link a few of my JRPG choices to at different points in time. Sailor Moon had a profound impact on my life in childhood, probably thanks to its mix of cool costumes and characters that were incredibly relatable, all while still being strong and powerful. Sailor Moon was my true introduction to anime, and I loved it. It was weird, funny, and serious, with its protagonist Usagi always being a massive crybaby who loved going to arcades and eating sweets. Yet she was always there for her friends and faced every colorful villain thrown at her in the name of love and justice. This kooky and touching show spawned my love of the magical girl genre. Cardcaptor Sakura was another show I loved and want to go back to someday, and it was probably with thanks to Sailor Moon that I also watched and enjoyed Madoka Magica in slightly more recent times, with my love of the same themes of watching these funny, strong girls in cool costumes save the world, making them very appealing to me. It's thanks to these series and probably Persona that Gust's JRPG from last year, Blue Reflection, was a complete no-brainer to me when it came out. Not only does it contain iconic transformation scenes and flashy costumes, it also features many of the same themes I loved from series like Sailor Moon. An emotional story, a charming and strong protagonist with a group of girls fighting evil, all with an undertone of friendship mixed in. Since I'm more into games than anime these days, I feel like I can jump deeper into Blue Reflection than I could with a show, and although I still enjoy anime from time to time, it's why my love of this style translates so well into games. In my anime journey, it was series like Sword Art Online and Axel World that helped bring back my interest in anime, as they also tied in my love of video games. The idea of being trapped inside an RPG world as a premise for a show is pretty appealing to someone like myself that likes to explore JRPG worlds in real games, and the first series I watched of Sword Art Online explored this idea well, specifically with the way the characters' relationships grew throughout. Interestingly, around the time I discovered Sword Art Online was around the time I discovered Dot Hack Infection lying around at my boyfriend's family's house, and it made the game instantly appealing to me. Although timing likely played a part, if I hadn't enjoyed Sword Art Online's first series so much, I probably wouldn't have found the Dot Hack series to be so intriguing, and may not have been as interested in Dot Hack G Lost Recode last year when it came out. Whether it's in anime or JRPGs, I like the trapped in an RPG world trope for what it is, and want to check out other shows like Log Horizon when I get time. So whether it's gaming or anime, I have Sword Art Online to thank as my first true introduction to this kind of story, and even though I am nowhere near up to date in its anime now, I'm glad it showed me this interesting story subgenre. Another essential part of watching anime as a child in the 90s was watching Pokemon and Digimon and eventually playing their games. Pokemon captures a lot of JRPG aspects well, as a show I enjoyed as a kid. Its gotta catch 'em all motto is still one that rings in my mind whenever a group of monsters is available to collect in a game, and the show's episodic nature of journeying gym to gym was always fun to watch. Where Pokemon introduced the idea of training monsters and being the very best, Digimon's plot was one I found more interesting overall even now, and its digital world is something I enjoy revisiting in games and want to revisit more in its newer anime edition sometime. Digimon for me was more about caring for monsters and forming a relationship with them, something I carry with me into its own games like Cyber Sleuth, while enjoying the training aspects that I probably honed in Pokemon games as a kid. But the main part I have to thank Pokemon and Digimon for is the games Pokemon Blue and Digimon World respectively. They were some of my first JRPGs, and thanks to these TV shows from my childhood making me want those games, I have some fun JRPG memories with the two that I can look back on fondly in both series as they continue now. Mary Nikki or Future Diary was an introduction to the darker side of anime as I got back into it. Before then, my memories of anime were Digimon and Sailor Moon, so the thrilling psychological story and bloody moments in Mary Nikki were a surprise to me when I first watched it, but really opened my eyes to the kind of stories that could be told through anime. Mary Nikki was my introduction to the death game or survival genre where usually poor, unsuspecting characters are put into a game that usually results in them having to kill each other, and the moral dilemmas of this are something I find oddly fascinating. Mary Nikki's use of its cell phone diaries that predicted the future in different ways put against each other made my introduction to this style of story really interesting, and I was hooked on it from start to finish, and I'm glad other series like Danganronpa also continue to give me the same kind of story thrill. In JRPGs, my interest in the death game style has led me to play Lost Dimension when it was suggested to me a couple of years ago, and I love the way it put its own twist on the genre. Having to try and figure out the traitors each chapter brought that moral choice into familiar JRPG territory for me, and combined with JRPG elements like skill trees and a tactical battle system, it was an enjoyable experience that I wouldn't have discovered without Mary Nikki giving me an introduction to the genre. As much as I love my favorite characters to live in most JRPGs I play, I would gladly play another JRPG version of this fascinating story style when another comes out in JRPG form. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what are some of your favorite animes and if they led you to different story styles like anime did for me. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. Check out the blog at jrpgjungle.com. I do everything I do here, but in written form, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at jrpgjungle. Those links will be in the description along with everything mentioned in this video. Until next time, thank you, bye!